Welcome, guys, to episode 8 of Live and Unfiltered. I'm your host, Kia Nicole.
And I am your co-host, Chanel Elaine.
And today we will be talking about life in your 20s, what it's like living in your 20s, and the common struggles that we all face. Without further ado, we're just going to hop right on in. All right, the first topic. What are some common struggles most people in their 20s experience?
Common struggles, I would say transitioning from being a teen to an adult. That for me, I would think is a struggle because you're experiencing new things that you've never been through, like, having to manage your bill, manage your time, probably get yourself to work on time. So I feel like a lot more responsibilities is something that you struggle with. When you're younger, someone else is holding you accountable, and as you get older, you're holding yourself accountable. So I feel like it's having responsibilities, adjusting to adulting, having your priorities set up, meaning like making sure your bill's straight before, you out spending, on a trip or just out with friends, like you have your priorities are set up straight. I would also say something else is, if you are a parent, that's also like caring for yourself and another person. So responsibilities again. And what else? Transitioning from teen, I feel like making time in terms of making time for yourself, not just like wearing yourself thin. Like, you have your job, you have friends, you have family, like making yourself available to them, but make sure you're putting your mental health and everything, as priority above those. So those are my thoughts.
I
Figure it out.
agree. We have similar responses. Obviously, we're both in our 20s, so we're going to say similar things. By the way, guys, feel free to answer. This isn't just for me and Chanel to answer. Like, we want to hear your thoughts as well. So for me, I say losing friends and relationships. We experience that a lot in our 20s, especially with relationships or friends that we thought would be forever or long term.
Right.
We often, lose quite a few. Handling big bills, you know, going from mama's house to maybe college, and then from college to now you may be on your own and having to juggle bills that you may not have had to when you were dependent on your parents. So that's a big one. I would say job burnout for sure. And especially because we're very different. We hear this a lot. We're very different from like our parents' generation, our grandparents' generation. They stayed on the jobs for 30 plus years and they retired from those jobs. Huh?
What?
We ain't like that, baby. We gonna job hop, okay? We give a job maybe 1-2 years, and then we be just,
Listen,
especially in
right,
our early 20s, baby. We job hop, so it's
right,
like we just
because
experience job burnout.
you don't have the
What you about to say?
responsibility when you're that age, so you can job hop. But when you have
Mm-hmm.
responsibility in certain bills, you can't just get up and be like, "Well, I'm gonna change my job today." You can if you have, something set aside. But typical 20-year-olds isn't gonna do that once they have mid-20s. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So we just like we acknowledge that we're tired, and we realize, okay, there's other options for us, and we did,
Right.
mom and dad, they was like, listen, we got family to feed. This job's reliable. We just gonna stick through with it, and they were very loyal to their jobs. So, but I feel like in our 20s, we definitely job hop a lot and experience a lot of burnout. Trying to find like the right career path for yourself, I feel is a big one, and finding your purpose in life. In our 20s, I feel like that's really just trying to discover yourself and like discovering what you want to do in life and how you want to be remembered. So that's a big one. Another one is like not comparing ourselves to others because we grew up in the social media age.
Right.
So it's a lot of comparisons and just trying to like tune out the noise, basically. So that's another common struggle in our 20s. And then also worrying about our parents because, we notice like as we progress in our 20s, our parents are getting older. And
Right.
some people, they may have to take care of their parents in their 20s. And that's a lot,
It
or if
is.
your parents get sick, it's just a lot, of, wearing on our own mental health when we have parents that are getting up there in age and we're constantly worrying about them. So those are some of my thoughts. Moving on to the next topic. How do you feel you've evolved as a woman or a person since your 20 or 21-year-old self?
How have I evolved as a person? I learned to have more fun and not take life so serious. Like, I don't know what it was, but once I hit like the age, of course, I had my kid young. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, like, I took life serious before that, but I took it even more serious once I had her. Like, I'm just like, I gotta be there. I gotta, you have things you just gotta do once you become a parent. So for me, it's like I took life serious. I would work a lot, stay busy, but not necessarily have time for myself. And I learned that as you get older, that is something you have to do. You have to prioritize yourself, because if you don't prioritize yourself, they always say, no health, no wealth kind of situation. So if you're not
Mm-hmm.
healthy enough to perform your tasks, if you're not healthy enough to, make yourself successful, then it's like it works against you. So I had to learn to just kind of like not take life with a grain of salt, but just pick and choose what I want to stress over and what I don't want to stress over. Like, not everything requires a reaction. Not everything
Mm-hmm.
requires me to stress. Like, there's just some things that's out of my control, and some things I have to stress about because I'm like, okay, it's very important. But there's some things that's like, it doesn't pay my bills. It doesn't help me. It doesn't affect my sleep at night. So at the end of the day, it's like, if it doesn't do those things for me, what's the point? Like, why is it, require my energy? So I just learned that not everything requires energy from me. And like I said, if I'm not losing sleep, it's not affecting my money, it's not affecting my life, it's not affecting anyone around me, then there's nothing for me. Like, there's no reason for me to put out that energy and work my blood pressure up. No, thank you. So there's that. I also feel like, besides me enjoying life more, like, I've learned to just, be more present, create more memories, because, like, you do
Mm-hmm.
say, as you evolve and as you get older, you are going to change your friend circles. You are going to be around different people. You are going to be around different tables, different rooms. So, you just kind of got to pick and choose your battles. As you get older, you learn what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not willing to tolerate. Like, when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger, baby, I was such a hothead,
And
and I
was
can't.
you
Wait a
definitely
minute, you
was.
ain't supposed to agree with me.
You
Relax.
were. Listen. I'm agreeing. You definitely have changed. You was a
I'm being
firecracker.
accountable. I'm being accountable for how it was. I
Mm-hmm.
very much was a hothead, and it has gotten me in some situations, that could have gotten me places I shouldn't be. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to make smarter choices, remove myself from those people. Just like I said, not put out as much energy and effort. If something, upset me and I just don't have control over it, then I just don't. Like, I would feed into it, and then it just blood pressure was blood pressuring, and I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn to take care of me first, and then whatever I choose is what gets my energy. Because, baby, once you hit 25, that time clock goes like this. Because
It
come next year,
does. It's literally like a countdown to 30 once you
it
hit
is.
25.
Come next year, it's like what, our last year in our 20s, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't see that coming. Like, I knew it came, but it's just like, now I'm looking at, like, where did the time go? So
Right. Like, wait, what did I do?
what did I
25,
do? Right.
26,
I did
27.
a lot, but it just, now that I'm here, I'm just like, did I do a lot?
I don't even
So
remember.
I feel
It's
like,
like a blur.
right. It's just like you blink and you woke up 20, 8, 29 around that time. So I feel like you gotta work on yourself. You gotta work on understanding things, associating yourself with the right people that want to see you win. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's all about maturing after a certain point. That's what I feel for
I
that.
agree. For
But
me,
how?
I'm gonna say I've become more patient. I will agree with you on like learning to not stress as much because, especially in college, like we stressed about every little thing. We had a
Right.
lot of things to stress about, but now I've just learned to just pray more, stress less. There
Right.
we go. So that's what I'm doing. I've become more wiser. I will say I
Hmm.
now understand the value of time and money,
Right.
whereas
Hmm.
I may have taken advantage of those things when I was younger because I wasn't in the thick of it and paying bills and
Right.
so I wasn't very knowledgeable when it came to that. I would say I've become a little less social. I've always been an introvert, but as I've gotten older, it's like now that I have a choice whether I want to go outside and socialize or not. Like when we're younger, it's like we're forced in situations where you just got to be around people. You know what I'm saying? You just
Right.
have to
Right.
find a way to mask and just blend in, you know what I'm saying, and try to be
Hmm.
social. But when you're an adult, you don't have to socialize with people you don't want to.
Right.
So that's like a pro and a con because knowing that I don't have to, a lot of times I just don't because I
Right.
like to just be alone. So I found myself a little less social, which I don't know if I want to change. Maybe I'll make a more conscious effort to be a little more social, but I do like to be in my bubble. I will say,
But when you are like that, though, pros for that is you're a lot more peaceful. You can control your environment a lot better because you're not having to deal with what you don't want to deal with in a sense. So I agree to that. You can. That's why I say you kind of pick and choose. Like I may choose to go to a certain event, and then the next time I may choose not to go. It's just you pick and choose what you want to give your energy to at that moment. So I agree with that.
That is true. Also, I think more long term versus when I was younger, when I was 20, 21, I was just thinking in the moment, like even with trying to figure out what my major was going to be, I'm like, I don't know, I'm just like, okay, let me just choose something, not thinking long term about much of any. That's just an example. That's other examples. But now I'm thinking more long term, like, okay, me doing this, how is that going to affect my life, maybe a couple years from now, 5 years from now. So I think more long term when I'm doing things and being more intentional. And then just getting more out of my comfort zone as well. Like this is out my comfort zone, and other things that I'm doing just out my comfort zone that I probably might not have really considered, when I was younger.
Right.
So yeah, those are mine. And again, feel free to answer any of these at any point in time. So we just answered, how do you feel you've evolved as a person from your 20 to 21-year-old self? Now we're going to move on to something. I'm interested to hear your answer on this one. And I kind of have a feeling what genre.
What's the question? Go ahead.
Okay, so what's the song that you have been listening to recently that you really like? Like, what's something you've been feeling?
Okay, so I haven't really been listening to songs like that lately, but I do artists. I do that. So you already know me.
You remix them. How about you do a song from your artist?
Okay,
that you
I guess we can do Honcho and we could do Yes from Honcho. I really love that song. That song stay on repeat. I love Honcho. I love his genre of music. I don't know, his style is just different. Like everybody come out and it kind of all sound the same, but I don't know what it is with him. But it's like it's a masculine man presenting like R&B hip hop sound, if that makes sense. So it's just different. So there's that. You already know my little Rod Wave, maybe Honcho, Rod Wave, Boosie.
That was not the question. The question was not list all your artists.
No, okay. Well, the songs I have on repeat are from those artists. I'll just say that. Like Boosie be like "Wipe Me Down," Redbone. Like it just depends. Like those are just artists I have. I don't have a specific song because I haven't been listening to anything recently. But those specific artists, those main three, and Future, them the four I really have on repeat. That's about it. And like some R&B. Like I have some R&B.
I was expecting you to say R&B because when you be like Alexa,
but you want me to
R&B.
Don't be saying her name too loud because she right next to me, and you know how she gets. So
it be R&B.
It do, but you want me to list songs? I'm just like, what have I listened to?
I'm just saying like something that you've been listening to recently or that you heard recently.
I'm like no, because she be playing songs, but again, because I play the same artist and the same sound, she repeats all their songs. So she just I just tell her to
you
play
need to give her variety so you can switch up.
I do. I give her them 3 or 4 artists, and she play music from all of them. But yeah, I like Yes by him. There's another one too.
From Honcho?
I can't think of his name right now. Yeah, but I recently, I don't want to say he's my favorite, but he's become one of my favorite artists.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like I don't know, it's his style of music, and he's like, I don't want to say cadence, because cadence is more so like a rap and flow, but it's just something about his songs make you want to like, ooh, let me go listen to this whole album.
Yeah,
kind of like
no, he does have a really nice sound. I didn't even know about him until the whole Keisha Cole thing. So
really?
I still haven't heard all of his music. I only hear what's trending. I never knew him before the whole Keisha Cole thing.
Well, I did, child. I was benching his stuff before
I didn't know. I still really don't know who he is. I just know they be comparing him to like Squidward and stuff, but that's neither here nor there.
People always got something to say.
I mean, he does have an interesting bone structure. I mean, it's interesting, but he does
he's a great artist too. And he's funny too. Like he's done like a video on like YouTube and stuff where you're able to his personality and stuff. He's pretty funny. He's really like engaging. So I like all that about him. But yeah, he's a good artist to me.
Okay. Well, mine is Party Next Door Chill, which was a trending sound. Might still be on here.
Party Next
I
Door
really
has
like his
been
whole album, but
trending. I
yeah,
was
just
gonna say
listen
he's been
to
trending a lot.
just listen to the whole album if you haven't. He can never miss. Like he can do no wrong in my eyes. I will go to a Party Next Door concert. Like I may not know all the
I like
words,
some of his
but
songs. I don't know if I've listened to the most recent ones, but I have some songs that I've saved from the past.
he's a good artist.
Yeah, he is. I agree.
All right, that was mine. And also the one that I put on the flyer is trending with That's Dior and the favorite
Yeah,
girl.
favorite girl. I like
I
that
like
too.
that song.
I had that
That's
song.
the
I like
pop.
that
They did
song.
something with that
They
song. I like
did.
it.
I
It just
like the
makes
other
you feel
one too.
good.
That dang. See, I'm like, I know the song, but I can't remember the name. The one with Jada and her. That was, oh my gosh, they were singing it and they were in the car. What was it? She had a line from that song and I can't remember it. Oh my
I don't.
goodness.
Is this old?
No, it was been a couple months, but it's not like a year yet. I'm gonna find the song. I'm gonna send
Okay,
it to you. It's a good
I
song.
don't know what you're talking
I
about.
like her flow in that song. Yeah, her flow was good. She ate that up because Jada kept reposting it, and then that became like a little trending part. But yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we're gonna move into the this or that portion.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna start with: would you rather travel 20 years in the past or 20 years in the future, and why?
Would I rather travel 20 years back or 20 years forward?
Mm-hmm.
I would say, I thought, give me a second, let me think.
I know
I
it's a
would,
hard one.
it is because I'm like, you know me, I'm gonna find pros and cons. I'm like, okay,
Me too.
the pros of traveling back is that like I may have adjusted and done things a little bit different to kind of get me in a different spot from where I am now.
Oh.
You do past, like if I change the past, I'm gonna change certain things that'll be better for me where I am present day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I jump in the future 20 years, what if it's not what I want it to be? Or what if it is what I want to be, but I'm not ready for it yet? So I'm like thinking of pros and
Right.
cons in my head. So backwards, I don't know. I think I would rather go forward because I'm like,
I think
if you
you
think
would
about it,
too.
I would say forward. And the only reason why I would say I'd rather go 20 years forward is because what I've already been through also has led me to be where I am. So I might not want to go back and mess with whatever,
Well, you're
happened
not
in the past.
messing with anything. You're just like
But then
taking a peek.
what am I going back
You're
for?
just going
Going
to
back
take
to see
a peek. Like
I
literally,
don't
okay, so
need
if you go for it, you're
I
just
don't
taking
need to
a
go back
peek.
to peak nothing. I
You're
don't been
taking
through
a
it.
peek of your future if you go forward and kind of seeing
Okay.
like a pro of going
I'd
forward. You're trying
rather
to see like,
okay.
did I
So we're
make
not
it?
changing nothing then. We're not changing
No,
I
you're
got
literally
you.
just
Okay.
going to take a peek.
I would say future. I want to see what my future look like. I'm like, I don't went through the past. I don't need to go back there. But I need to go back, but like, let me remember this moment. I could just go forward. I've already been through that, so I don't want to go back through that again.
Yeah.
So I'd rather. I thought we were changing. Like
No, you're
we're
not changing
changing to.
anything. You're just taking a peek. So
I'll say
we were
future.
we were 8 years old to give you a little bit more context.
I want to go
In
back to when I'm
the
8.
past, 20 years ago, we were
The
8.
only thing I like to go back for is not paying bills. Like I would like to go back and be like,
There
"Ooh,
you
look at me
go.
playing outside, having fun, being free, and just that stuff." Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But overall,
Okay.
you would say
Okay.
future.
I mean, yeah, I'll go back and pee. Okay, that's what you was doing at 10. All right, phones wasn't out yet. Gotcha. Okay, flip phones was a thing. Heard. Okay.
So which one are you choosing?
I'm gonna choose future. I like to go peek for a little bit. I would like to peek because then I'm in present day. I can make whatever changes I need to change right now to see what I saw in the future. So yeah, I'll do future. The past is still where
Okay.
it's at. I'm not gonna mess with. I'll go forward.
All right. So welcome. So what we're answering right now is: would you rather travel 20 years in the past or 20 years in the future? So for me, obviously, I would have said future, but I'm going to say past because one, I want to see, like at age 8, I just kind of want to relive like some of the memories that I may have forgotten. Because to be honest, age 8 was a foggy memory. So I'm interested to see like how I was as a kid and like the trips we would go on. And
You got pictures, girl. You can go
no,
back and
I
see.
don't. At age 8,
You don't.
I
You
don't
don't
know
have
where
any
those
pictures.
pictures
Okay,
are.
well.
I have so many pictures that got lost, and I don't know
I
where the age 8
know.
pictures are. We
You
probably have
know.
a few.
I'm about to say back. I don't know, but back in the day, they used to keep like albums and stuff. Like
They
I
sure
remember I
did.
had
And then
right. I
over
have
time when you
albums.
move and
Right,
yeah,
right,
they've gotten
right.
my
This is
grandma
thing.
has some, I don't know if she has any when I was 8. I don't remember much about 8. So I just want to see like how life was again, like back when I was 8 years old, because life right now was pretty ghetto. And then
You
also
say pretty
obviously,
ghetto, but the
yeah,
phone had cut out. Oh,
pretty
girl.
ghetto, yeah.
Well, you can't. Well, then why would you not want to see the future? Because you already know
No,
what the
I'm gonna
past
leave the
is.
future as a mystery. But let me tell you another reason I want to see the past. Obviously,
Okay.
I would want to see my mom again. Obviously, give her a
Right.
hug, give her a kiss,
Right.
and see like just relive some memories that we had with her, but also see like how she was as a person, like with her friends and outside of being a mom, like like type of person she was. Because I don't remember at age 8 much of that. So I would want to take a peek at the past. I can leave the future as a mystery and just yeah, 'cause I don't want to. I'll psych myself out if I peek in the future and I see myself living the life I want to live. Then I'm gonna be like, okay, when is it gonna
No,
happen? Is it gonna be
no,
this
you're not.
moment? Is it
No,
gonna be this
but
moment?
you're not gonna. You're not. Well, you personally, I'm about to say, me
I am
personally,
gonna psych myself out. Like, okay,
I
when is it
wouldn't
gonna
psych
happen?
myself out. I would be more. I would kind of be more like prepared. Is what I'm saying. Like anything I'm going through right now, all I'm gonna be able to tell myself is, "Ooh, you saw what your life look like 20 years from now. Okay, girl, just enjoy yourself. Prepare for this. Prepare for that. Like you're preparing, but you already know. So it kind of like alleviates a lot of stress too because you got a peek at what it will be.
But you don't know exactly when it happened. It could have been
You don't know
the
when it
19th
happened, but you
year.
see it happening
It could
though.
have been the 19th year that
And
life could
that's
come.
fine. You sit down and wait and don't do
So you're
nothing
gonna be in
different
year
till you get there.
17, like, nah, I just saw my future and I just knew it was. So what's going on, God? I don't know. I'd rather just leave it a mystery. I'd rather just go in the past for the
I
reasons that
don't
I
know.
said.
I would take a peek just to kind of see, like, if it was like a 5 year peek, okay, 5 years from
Five
now, this
years,
is where
yeah,
you're at.
for sure,
Like,
yeah.
okay, well, 20 years he can hold that, but 5 years, a little 1, 2 peek. Okay, all right, I'm
Mhm.
on the right track. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Boom, boom. Like it's just like a confirmation of what you're doing currently. Is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
it would give me, but. Baby, I would not be stressed. I'd be like, oh, that's one less reason for me to stress because I know that's what I'm gonna be. Oh, okay.
I feel where you're coming from. I don't know. Life was just much simpler back in the day. I
I
just would
agree.
want to take a peek at when life was simpler. It's
Agreed.
just, it's. All right, moving on to the next one. All white toes or French tip toes? Which one do you prefer?
Baby, you gonna ask me this one? I'm trying to get this one down.
And is
Um, I would say I love all white toes. I do. I still get them, but as I've gotten older, I feel like the French tips have also kind of been like I don't want to say my new favorite, but if I have a special occasion, I'm gonna go French tip because I feel like it's more classier. It's more I don't want to say
mature.
adultish. It's more mature. It's
Hmm.
just nicer and softer for a look. But on any regular day, we could do the all white. But
Okay.
my what I like is all white, but my preference right now is French tips.
No, no,
So
no. You gotta choose, honey.
I did,
Let's not be difficult.
I did. I like all
Okay, so
white.
just say one. Just say
I
one. Which one?
like all
Okay,
white,
so
but my
stop there.
preference,
No,
but
no,
my
no, no.
preference is French tips.
Okay, so friendship.
Yeah, but I
No, no,
like all white too.
no, 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 no. Okay, so all around, if you had to choose, you go on the nail shop today, and you had to choose.
1 foot all white, 1 foot
Ugh.
French tip.
Okay.
I'm
I
playing. I'm playing. No, I'm a, right now. If I had to go right now, special occasion, I'm gonna say the same thing. French tips on a regular white nails. Period. Next.
okay. So white nails overall.
No.
Okay. There's not that
Okay.
many special occasions that you're.
There's birthdays. There's New Year's. There's
There's
Christmas.
way more
There's
regular
Easter.
days than those special occasions. So anyway, all white is your answer. I have never gotten French on my toes. I want to try it, but again, I think of it as a special occasion type of
Right.
nail. I know some people get it on a regular. They completely replace the all white with the French tips,
Right.
and I think they look really nice on certain toes. I'm just more of an all white girl. So basically your answer. Any other regular day, all white. I
Right.
think maybe the next big occasion, I'm gonna try the French tip and just see how
They're
I like
nice.
it.
It's kind of like it's more like a simplistic look if that's what you're
It is
going for.
very
Oh,
simple. I
right.
know it is.
It's just very laid back because I'm like I be critiquing them when they doing it. I'm like, you need to do this. You need. They
That's
just like,
the thing.
wait
You
a
be
minute,
having to
wait till you
micromanage these people, and it's like, this is your job. Why do I have to
right.
sit here and like, I'm on the edge of my
Because
seat, making sure you're doing stuff right?
sometimes
Like,
when they do the French tips, some of them do it real thin, and I don't like that look.
yeah,
I don't like the big
I don't
blocky white either. I just
like it
kind of
too
like
thick
it
either. Yeah,
medium,
he be
like
just right.
So it's a little bit more like meticulous, I guess. I'd be like, do this, do that. Like it's
See,
just so
with the
much to
white,
try to.
they gonna get that right. You cannot mess up white. It's literally
You
just a
can't.
solid polish.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the only
yeah.
thing when it comes to that. But it's nice once it's done
When
and
it's
it
done
comes together. Yeah,
correctly.
it's
Yeah.
it's nice.
Okay. All right. So the summer is approaching, but in Florida is basically here. So, which will you be rocking, or which do you prefer during the summer? Braids or wigs, lace fronts, whatever.
I like braids for the summertime because I feel like I do wigs throughout the year, so I like braids. The only thing with braids is, baby, when it's hot, it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
So and I like to do the long braids.
Yeah,
I don't like to do just
you
something
gotta
like a
put them
pinup.
up, and
But
it be heavy
for
sometimes.
summer, braids only because they last longer and it's less maintenance. If I need to go somewhere, I could just out the door. I could throw me on a hat. Like it's just more manageable, more less maintenance. But then when a wig, you gotta style it. You might gotta relay your lace because it's too hot outside. Like it's just so much more maintenance. But I mean, I go in between both. But my preference is braids. That's
Yeah,
cornrows, flats, whatever. Just that's my preference. But I'll do both.
I agree. Braids for sure, because like you said, throughout the year, I'm already doing wigs most of the time, so it's nice
Mm-hmm.
to not have to wake up and constantly retouch up a wig or whatever. That's just too much.
Right.
So yeah, braids for sure. It just do be hot. Like when you're trying to do long braids and then you have to keep pulling them up. And I don't like to wear my braids up. I kind of like to just leave them down. But
I
this is why
like
I just
up
stay inside.
because
I just stay inside during the summer. I do go out sometimes, but I think I'm gonna be more of a like go out in the evening type of person when the sun goes down or early
I
morning.
like braids only. I mean, I like them no matter if they're up or down. The only thing is like I like the extra long effect, and that extra long effect don't work when you go in,
Yeah.
the pool, when you go on the beach, when you go to the
Mm-hmm.
beach, like the water and your hair get wet. It is so heavy, and then it smells like the ocean, and it's just so much because it's long. There's only so much you can
Yeah.
tie up. You walk around with this big old thing on top of your hair like a bun, and it doesn't work out. But if you're doing short braids or like cornrows or something simple, yeah. But I be liking the long goddess
Yeah.
braids, and that be my
Yeah.
proudest
I
time.
don't like them that long. I'll get them like maybe the bottom of my back, but I don't do butt length or anything. So for me, I
Mhm.
feel like it's a little bit more manageable.
I
And
be
I don't do them
sitting on
super
them,
big.
Lord. I be
Yeah, you
swinging them out the way
like
back
yours
and
extra long.
sitting on them. I'm like, but it's just just say so I
Yeah.
gotta stay inside so I can maintain them braids, huh?
Yeah, you might want to, or like go out when the sun go down, and you know what I mean.
when the sun when the sun go down, it's crazy work.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes tonight's episode of Live and Unfiltered. It was a pleasure talking with you, sis. I love the conversation.
Of course.
And make sure that you are following the
I was
podcast
about to say, let me
page.
feel your thoughts.
I'm like, yeah, thank you. Help me out. Follow the podcast page, Live and Unfiltered. It's also in my story. So if you go to my story or you go to her story, you'll see it. Follow the podcast page. Make sure you're following both of us as well. Next week we will be on Chanel's page. So just make sure that you tune in on her page for episode 9. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And we will catch you next week. Good night.
Bye, y'all.